We do have one thing that we didn't have when you were here last time. Monte Cristo Railroad display.
Ah,
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
yeah. You want to see it?
Sure, please. I got a little bit of what was being built at the time.
Well, don't turn the light on yet. We want them to be really. We want you to really be impressed. You know, we're putting the layout together. I think when you're here.
That's right.
We got a call from someone who said, "I think I have a painting of Monte Cristo. Could you establish its provenance for us?" So we went to look at it. Yes, we told him who painted it. We told him who owned it. It's a painting of exactly the same scene of Monte Cristo that layout was built for.
Wow.
And we asked, "What are you going to do with the painting?" He said, "I'm trying to find a home for it." Oh, really?
Oh, really? Gosh.
Is that nice, or is that?
That is lovely. Wow.
Now, we actually have a sign here.
Oh,
is that
yeah.
okay? You know, it was a friend of the museum that lived in Mill Creek that had spent decades building a layout of the Everett Monte Cristo. He moved to Arizona. He asked us if we wanted the Monte Cristo end. We said, of course we do. And it took quite a bit to get it out of his house. The doors had to be cut up in pieces, but we put it together. But when we got that painting, if you stand at the end here and look that way, you see the same scene in the painting that you see in 3D in the layout. It goes close to the wall as you can get and down as low as you can get. The original painting of Monte Cristo has a rock. The original picture has a rock. It's an odd shaped rock. In the painting, it's shown here in the painting, but that's just sort of an impression of it. But in the original picture from which this painting was painted, you can see that rock face. Very unique, flat with a notch in it.
Right.
This is that same picture with the rock highlighted. This is a picture taken 55 years later with that same rock. And this is a picture taken 55 years later with that same rock. When we put the layout back together, we took modeling clay and put that rock in there. It's got that same square face with the notch. So if it were possible that the camera down here looking that way, you've got the exact same view in the camera that you had in the original picture.
That's right.
From which the painting was painted.
That's beautiful.
It's just that coincidence allowed us not to get not only the layout, but that painting as well. It's just amazing.
What a gift.
The painting was painted by a gentleman named Jack Irwin, who was one of the founding members of the Snohomish County Historic Association and Museum, famous landscape painter.
How wonderful.
So that rock is a natural focal point for when you go up there.
Yeah.
And in the painting, you can see the water tank there and here. And then up there, you can see it on the lower right of the photo.
That's right.
And then outside of this photo, where the tank is where the round table still sits up at Monte Cristo. And so it's off screen. It'd be right behind the edge of the frame if the picture continued. And you can see that from space on Google Earth. The most recent images, satellite images, have too much of the tree canopy and you're only seeing about this much of it. But if you go back in time a few years, you can see the whole thing. And if you look, the train track part is in different positions, just like a clock moving, and it's because it still rotates. And I saw pictures of some former students up there as young adults, and they had several kids up on one end, and one person was pushing it because it didn't take much.
It just got lubricated last year for the
Yeah,
first
and
time
so-
in about 100 years. They packed it full of grease and now it goes around easy without making these terrible noises.
Yeah, it's screeching. And so the Monte Cristo Preservation Association does an amazing job up there.
I'm so grateful that they're up there doing that work.
And then, of course, this is just part of a railroad display, but we have all the wiring and everything to eventually get that going.
Yeah.
And the creator had this in the basement of his split level home. And this was the destination, so it was back in the corner. And then he had rail lines to simulate going all the way into Granite Falls, Snohomish, and into Everett to the smelter, all the way through the basement, of a split level, of a living area,
Right.
and it's finished off. And you go down there and there's just like, where does it start and
So
where does it end?
It took up the whole floor of his house. So when he couldn't expand anymore there, he's the one that put this simulation together. So now you can drive the train all the way from Everett to Monte Cristo.
and if you're driving the train on the simulation, it's like real time. And so it would put along a high speed of 25 miles an hour. So if you can imagine driving 20, or riding a bicycle from Everett, Snohomish, Lake Stevens, Granite Falls, and then all the way up to Monte Cristo. That's not like I'm going to ride my bike up there and hang out, have lunch, and come back home.
No, yeah.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But it's very realistic, and he's getting more and more details added to it. Just like if there was an actual photograph, I don't know what a person could take away from it more than the painting. And the same, like with this nice photograph, if they had something over the years, every year had a new picture of it, you still couldn't come up with anything more, more better than this.
That's right.
Just to be able to see the physical layout and to see the hills and, knowing that, oh boy, this is up on the hill. Well, yeah, look what's behind it. And so you got the different mountain peaks and, a couple of passes and still
And if
good
you look
hiking.
We like to laugh a little bit. So if you look closely, you see some fellas gold panning down here.
Yeah.
You'll see a naked guy taking a bath in the stream here.
That's too risque for you too.
Oh, he's very little.
I'll have to blur that out.
Anyway, so that was really nice to get. Nice to get that hung. It was nice to get this donation and get it pieced together. Came in 3 pieces, and we're hoping to get the rest of this room set up for that.
You guys are doing such an amazing job.
Yeah. Always something going on.
Always something going on.
Yeah.